Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago Fire Season 13 makes its Casey and Brett's replacement clear in the premiere. Matt Casey and Sylvie Brett rode off into the sunset. Aka moved to Portland during Chicago Fire Season 12, meaning another couple must replace them in Season 13. Casey and Brett were one of the NBC procedural drama's central couples. However, once the two got married, they moved to Portland, where Casey cared for Andrew Darden's sons after their mother was in prison. Now Chicago Fire is without Casey and Brett, and in desperate need of a couple with a similar love story. Of course, Kelly Severide and Stella Kidd are already married, although Severide and Kidd's marriage is less than stable in Chicago Fire Season 13. So they can't follow in Casey and Brett's footsteps. Jack Damon and Lizzie Novak's teased romance might mirror Casey and Brett's, but it's too soon to tell. Meanwhile, everyone else is already married or in a stable relationship. That leaves two characters whose scenes in the Season 13 premiere prove they have what it takes to replace Matt and Casey. Sam Carver and Violet McCalmy's on and off relationship began towards the end of Chicago Fire Season 11. The show teased that the two might be attracted to one another. Then, in Season 12, Carver and Violet gave in to their obvious chemistry. However, their relationship was limited to friends with benefits because Violet didn't want to fall in love with a first responder again after what happened to Evan Hawkins. Of course, love can't be stopped, and Carver professed his love for Violet during the Season 12 final. Unfortunately, the confession happened during an intense fight between the two, which ended with Carver taking a 6-week furlough. When Carver returned to Firehouse 51 in the Chicago Fire Season 13 premiere, he wasn't alone. Violet, determined to make things right with Carver, tried to catch up with him but then stopped and watched as a car with Texas plates pulled up to the station. A woman got out of the car and kissed Carver, and the look of heartbreak on Violet's face was transparent. Thanks to Carver's new and mysterious girlfriend, his slow burn romance with Violet continues in Chicago Fire Season 13. She is yet another torturous obstacle that stands in Carver and Violet's way of being together. Nevertheless, Carver and Violet's love story should end in happiness if they play by Brett and Casey's rulebook. It will just take some time. Similar to Casey and Brett, it's only a matter of time before Carver and Violet get together. They are following the same trope of will-they/won't they that defined Casey and Brett's relationship for many Chicago Fire seasons. Casey and Brett started as friends since Casey was still with Gabby Dawson when they first met. But over time, feelings developed. Even when Casey and Brett knew they liked/loved one another, they were still hesitant to start dating. They eventually came to their senses and got married in Chicago Fire Season 12, Episode 6. Perhaps Carver and Violet skipped a few steps that Casey and Brett took, but the ups and downs of their relationship still parallel the married couple's journey. Once the audience thinks Carver and Violet will finally be together, the rug is pulled out from under them. The two Chicago Fire Season 13 characters obviously care for one another deeply, but both have issues they need to work through. Once that happens, maybe in Season 13 or further down the line, Carver and Violet will undoubtedly have a great Chicago Fire love story. Chicago Fire Season 13 wasted no time in setting the stage for a major shift at Firehouse 51. With Casey and Brett officially closing the chapter on their time in Chicago, the premiere episode made it abundantly clear who would be stepping into their shoes. While their departure left a significant void, the show wasted no time in establishing new characters and dynamics that would shape the Firehouse moving forward. From the opening moments of the season premiere, there was an unmistakable sense of transition. The Firehouse was abuzz with speculation about who would take on the leadership and emotional roles that Casey and Brett once held. As the team responded to its first major call of the season, the answer became evident. Lieutenant Sam Carver and paramedic Jada Holloway were the clear successors to the power couple's respective roles. Carver steps up as Firehouse 51's new leader. Although Carver has been part of Firehouse 51 since Season 11, his arc in Season 13 sees him stepping up in a way that fully solidifies his place within the team. With Casey gone, there was an inevitable question of who would take on his unofficial role as both a leader on the field and a moral compass within the Firehouse. The Premier answered that by throwing Carver into a challenging rescue that required quick thinking and decisive action, his ability to lead under pressure not only earned him respect from his colleagues, but also signaled that he was ready to fill the void left by Casey's departure. Carver's evolution hasn't been without its obstacles. His early days at 51 were marred by tension with Severide and an air of uncertainty about his place in the team. However, as the new season unfolds, he demonstrates a growing confidence and a natural ability to rally the team, particularly in moments of crisis. The Premier showcases him navigating a tense high-rise fire, making split-second decisions, and proving that he has what it takes to be the new go-to leader alongside Severide. While Casey's legacy looms large, Carver's unique leadership style ensures he isn't merely a replacement, but a character with his own distinct impact on the firehouse. Jada Holloway, the new face of the paramedic team. On the paramedic side, Brett's departure left a massive gap, both professionally and personally. Sylvie Brett wasn't just an exceptional paramedic, she was the heart of the team, providing emotional support and forging deep connections with her colleagues. Season 13 introduced Jada Holloway as her replacement, and from the moment she stepped into Firehouse 51, it was clear that she would be bringing a fresh yet compelling energy to the role. Jada is a seasoned paramedic with a no-nonsense attitude and an impressive resume, having worked in high-intensity environments before transferring to 51. The Premier wasted no time in showcasing her skills, as she and Violet were thrown into a chaotic multi-vehicle accident that tested their ability to work together under pressure. Jada's calm demeanor and quick decision-making impressed not only Violet but also Chief Bowden, who recognized her potential to be a stabilizing force for the team. However, what truly set Jada apart was her emotional depth. While she exudes confidence on the job, the episode hinted at a complex backstory that will likely unfold as the season progresses. A quiet moment in the locker room, where she hesitated before making a personal call, suggested that there's more to her than meets the eye. This added layer of intrigue makes her not just a replacement for Brett, but a character with her own journey and emotional stakes. The changing dynamics at Firehouse 51. Beyond just individual replacements, Season 13's premiere also highlighted how these changes would impact the larger dynamics of Firehouse 51. Carver's growing leadership role means a shift in how Severide and Kid operate within the team. With Casey gone, Severide finds himself relying more on Carver, leading to a developing mentorship that mirrors the dynamic Casey and Severide once shared. Meanwhile, Kid, who has always been a strong presence, must navigate her own leadership position while adapting to Carver's increased role in decision-making. For Violet, working with Jada presents new challenges and opportunities. Brett was not just a partner but a close friend, and adjusting to a new dynamic won't be easy. However, the premiere hinted at an eventual bond between Violet and Jada, one built on mutual respect and an understanding of the emotional toll that comes with being a paramedic in Chicago. Their interactions were laced with moments of both tension and camaraderie, laying the groundwork for what could be a compelling partnership moving forward. Honoring Casey and Brett's legacy. While Season 13 clearly aims to move forward, it doesn't forget the impact Casey and Brett had on Firehouse 51. Throughout the premiere, there were subtle nods to their influence, from a brief mention of Casey's continued work in Oregon to a heartfelt moment where Violet found an old note from Brett in her locker. These moments served as reminders that while new characters are stepping in, the legacies of Casey and Brett remain woven into the fabric of Firehouse 51. As the season progresses, the show will undoubtedly explore how these new dynamics continue to evolve. Carver's growth as a leader will be tested, Jada's past will likely come to light, and Firehouse 51 will face new challenges that push them to their limits. However, one thing is clear from the premiere: Chicago Fire has found its replacements for Casey and Brett, and they are more than ready to carry the torch.